2019 Bentley Bentayga V8 first drive review. Vertical bar losing cylinders, but not much else. There's no such thing as a cheap Bentley. Even though the new 2019 Bentayga V8 is $30,000 less expensive than its W12 powered sibling, the twin-turbo V8's $165,000 window sticker still puts it well into the upper echelon of pricey luxury vehicles. Bentley is loath to compare the two versions of the Bentayga. What parent wants to pit siblings against one another? But does frame the V8 edition as a somewhat sportier alternative to the full-bore, glitz and glamour W12. Let's examine that line of reasoning. Under the hood of the Bentayga V8 is a 4.0-liter turbocharged engine that shares most of its bits with the latest Porsche Panamera and Cayenne turbo. The engine is specifically tuned for use in this new application, with a unique sound signature and a cooling package that Bentley says will keep it running comfortably even in the face of the largest deserts and dunes in the world. The V8's peak of 568 pound-feet of torque hits below 2000 RPM and stays exactly there until 4500, with a horsepower peak of 542 at 6000. From behind the wheel, the Bentayga's V8 engine feels a bit higher strung than the effortless W12. Instead of instant torque, there's a strong rush of power that builds nicely until it nears its 7000 RPM redline, the highest rev limit of any engine the brand has ever installed in a passenger vehicle. If such a peaky sounding engine seems incongruous with the intent of a luxury SUV, just know that there's plenty of stank available anytime the driver decides to push a red-bottomed lub out and into the plush carpet. It's just a little less than what'd be on call from the W12, but there's not enough of a discrepancy to really matter. The V8 is a bit less sprightly to 60 than the W12, 4.4 seconds versus 4.1, and, with its 180 mph top speed, it's a meaningless 7 mph slower at the top end too. So, that doesn't really support the idea of sportiness. Neither too does the V8 handle any differently than the W12. There's only about 100 pounds separating the two vehicles, with the new V8 edition weighing in at 5,264 pounds. And since only half of that weight savings is centered over the front axle, there isn't any real change to the Bentayga's driving dynamics or steering feel. That's not to say the Bentley Bentayga V8 doesn't drive well, it just doesn't drive differently than its more powerful, more expensive sibling. On one hand, that's a good thing. The W12's driving dynamics are excellent, but on the other, we'd love to tell you that the V8 version felt lighter on its feet. In any case, all the inherent capability of Bentley's high-tech electronic chassis control systems mean the V8 is just as good as the W12 when driving on the road, or off it, or on snow and ice, as you can see in the video below. Stick around after the ice driving demonstration for closer looks at the interior and exterior features of the latest Bentley SUV. Bentley's 48-volt electronic anti-roll system is optional on the V8, it's standard on the W12, and it's a recommended addition. Electric motors react instantly to quell the leanings of the massive Bentayga with nearly 740 lb-ft of instant torque. That much power is necessary, considering the forces at play when 2.6 tons of SUV pitch and sway on 21 or 22-inch wheels and tires. Even with the high-tech anti-roll bits, there's plenty of squat and dive under hard acceleration and braking, though cornering loads are well managed, even quick side-to-side transitions. Optional on both V8 and W12 Bentayga models for 2019 are the largest carbon ceramic brakes in the world, clamped by 10 piston calipers at the front. Buyers who want to stick with iron brake discs can choose optional red calipers. Oddly enough, the carbon discs stick with innocuous dark painted calipers. Some may prefer the look of the Bentayga V8 over the W12, since it eschews chrome in favor of dark paint for the grille, and gets a unique pair of exhaust outlets with a crimped center, to make them look from a distance like 4 distinct pipes. An optional carbon fiber exterior package adds a rear spoiler to the roof of the SUV, and while such an add-on seems superfluous, it actually looks kind of cool. And that probably matters a lot more than any real-world airflow necessities.